Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and just get going. All right, so this is going to be a quick video about how to do closed captioning in Twitch. And what that means, I saw this on somebody's stream the other day, and I was immediately intrigued. I was like, whoa, that looks like really professional. How do they do that? It's been around forever. Apparently, I just hadn't noticed on a few people's streams. So what it is you get this closed captioning thing right here. A few people screams instead of streams. The closed captioning is pretty good, actually. It uses Google's closed captioning for free. There's nothing to really pay for. And there are some gotchas, however. So I actually asked RW Grimm _Grimm, who's another streamer that I like to watch and talk to, as well as the Linux gaming guys, who were, you know, as usual, helpful but sort of annoying. And they made a video about it, but their video misses so many details. Not to mention it has used the GUI the whole time. I mean, come on. So let me show you how to do it. So the first thing you do is you make a script. I know you don't think you should make a script, but let me show you what. Oh, let me show this before I do that. So here's what you get when it works. When it works, you get this. You get an OBS that has captions down here that tell you it tells you the caption in real time that it's going to be putting on your screen. And it sends the closed captions to the closed caption channel so that you can use it. Now, if you want to, you can monitor it obviously just from the screen, and sometimes I do it that way. But in this case, I have it. I just look at the screen up there and I see what it's going to do. It's really great. It's pretty good for those people who want to, like, I mean, obviously closed captioning is great. I read a thing that said 60% of everyone who does streaming of videos on Facebook, I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't have Facebook. Watches all the videos silently. So I did add a little caption for this, but you can go at the video. I'll show you everything. So is that edit? Let me see. I mean, it really isn't that hard. It was 80%. And so here are the links to it. So it's the OBS project is where I read about it. And then I linked to a script that will do it for you. And we're going to go look at that script right now. So I have a script. I think everybody should have their own installer scripts because you just never know. Sometimes something's going to be on one platform. Sometimes it's another. Sometimes it just doesn't work. So the main stuff that I have, I usually make a script to tell me what I'm going to do and how to do it. I don't necessarily run it every time. It's not automated. I just go in here and add it when I need to. So this one's called Install OBS. And I'm going to go through how the script works and what it does and some of the stuff I had to add to the script in order to get it to work no matter what. So if you go to Rat with a Compiler OBS plugin, that's the plugin. You can copy that link. I'll open it in a graphic browser just so you can see. It was actually because I opened it in a graphic browser that I caught the error. So I know it's one of those few times when you can say using a text browser was a bad idea, because when I went out to the releases, so here it is, closed captioning OBS plugin. It has installation notes. It's kind of light on the instructions for installation for Linux, and it says it's not working. Now, this is the thing you need to notice. It says it requires OBS 2.7, and mine is not 2.7. It's the standard one that comes with Pop! OS. It's far behind a little bit, but it's not too far behind. And then you get down here to the Linux one, and it says the same thing. It does have debug caption on, and that says here that anything after 2.4 has it. Where does it say that? That's really messy docs, but you know, it's good enough. So let's go through what's required. So there's a number of releases. The last 2 releases are require 2.7 or higher, and I don't have 2.7. So when the, Linux gaming guys said, "Oh yeah, sure, it works. It totally works," it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It didn't work. I was right. I had to go back 3 versions, 3 releases in order to get it to work on my version of OBS. So it does work. You just have to have the right information. And just saying it works was kind of, annoying actually. Because I did have to go through and look at it, but it got me to read this, and that's when I read this. It works with 2.7 or newer. And that obviously led me to write a script. So let's just jump right into the script. Obviously, that's how I do everything. So the first things first, we want to see, I'm going to show you what every step here does in the script. First of all, I want to see if we have OBS at all. So the standard way, this works in POSIX and everything, the standard way to look up a script or anything, to look up an executable and see if it exists and get the path to it is to use Command-V. People may not know that. Some people use type OBS. This does not always work. That will tell you if it's there. Which OBS will tell you if you have an executable in the path somewhere. But almost always you want Command-V, and you can read about that. Help command. It's a bash built-in. -V, print a description of commands somewhere to the type built-in. Use the default path for path. Print a more verbose description for the command, whatever. So that does give you the exact path if it exists, right? If it doesn't exist, it won't do anything. So, foo. There's no foo. So that's the real important thing here. So if there's no OBS, this will be blank, and then this text to see if it's blank, and if there is, it gives you an error and exits the program. So that's what that does. If it does exist, we're going to use -V because we need to get the version. Now, there's no clean version here. So we have to do this dirty version, and we have to parse it up. So that's what this is. This is using an extended regular expression. People are saying, why don't you use \D? Because that's a Perl regular expression, just so you know. So we have, this says, and you'll notice there's parentheses around each one. You have to / the dot, otherwise it means any character. So we're looking for this, right? Major version, minor version, and the patch version. Now, technically the patch is all of that, but I don't care. So we're going to get all of that just because. Now, if I were to do bash rematch 0, that would be the whole match, everything that matched. But in this case, we're just looking for the parenthetical matches, which is the numbers. This says any number 0 to 9. This is 0 or 1 or more of those numbers. All right, so remember, once again, always use double brackets in bash. It's safer. It's the way to do it. If you're doing it with single brackets, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. It's unsafe. It's unnecessary. It's overly complicated. You should be using double brackets or double parentheses in bash and nothing else. As soon as you put bash up there, you've written off on that. This is bash, yes. So then you put your URL. Now, the thing that's cool about GitHub is it does have a standard location in their API to get the latest, and you can pull down that API anytime. But if the version is less than 27, then, as it said in the release notes, we actually want a specifically tagged release. Now, thank God, this took me a little time to find. So I was like, hey, I just want the release. I don't want to get all the releases, right? If you leave this stuff off, if you leave this stuff off here, you get all the releases. I'm like, oh, I don't want all the releases. I just want a single release. And most people will tag their releases, so you can actually get that by doing tags. And that's what we did here. This is the one I want. This is the one that works. And so this gets me the same thing as this, except just for this release. Instead, latest will get me the latest, okay? So that's that. These double parentheticals are just the smartest, easiest way to do any condition that involves math. And you can actually do math in there. You can add 1 plus minus 2 and everything. So anytime you're doing a bash condition that has math involved or a math comparison, use double parentheses. I don't know why people are doing the old ancient shit. Okay, so do this. It's like so much safer, so much easier. You don't have to put a $ in front of your variable names. It's beautiful. It's safe. It's the way to go. All right, so then we go down here and we're going to grab the directory. So we make a temp directory. The -d says to make a temp directory. A lot of people don't know about this command. I'm surprised how many people don't know about this command. This will just give you a standard temp directory any place that there is temp space. And it's very safe to do that, and then you just can remove it later. By the way, if it has something in it, you can do RFF. Otherwise not, just use rmdir because it'll save you from all kinds of nastiness. But you can just do that and I'll get rid of it. That's in /temp, which will be cleaned out. /temp is no longer a virtual file system. It used to be, which just lives in memory. And these days, not disk. These days, temp is actually on disk. It's a part of the root file system. And it gets cleaned up by a script that removes everything when you reboot. So just know that. And you go down to your working directory. Absolutely better to use parentheses. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's easier to read. It's what you expect. It allows you to do mathematical calculations. So you can do ++ and +1 and +2 and all of that. So you can actually do a mathematical comparison that you can do using this stupid kludgy-gt shit from POSIX days. That stuff is so old. You should never put that in a bash script. Ever. Not if it's in a... Look, as soon as you say you're making a bash script, you can use bash and all of the safeties and conveniences of bash, and you don't have to regret it. If you are, for some reason, stuck in POSIX unsafe land, then, you have to stick with that. But very few people are required to do that. It's also the reason to not use zshell. Zshell will ruin your day because it does math completely differently because it attempts to do floating point math, which should never do. All right, so zshell is a horrible mistake. People that have been coding in it, they have no idea how much danger they're putting themselves in if they're coding in zshell. If you're going to code in bash. I don't care if you use your zshell as your interactive shell, fine. Code in bash, though. Echo working directory now. Okay, so here we go. Curl. So what does this do? So this says, as silences curl, redirects if necessary. It goes to the URL and downloads the file as release.json. Right? Wait, did I delete something here? I think I did delete something here. Working directory now. Yeah, we should have redirected into there. I think I did. I think I deleted something on accident. Give me a second, because we're not either that or I did it wrong like yesterday and I deleted it. Yeah, I did. All right, so this should actually be cd-dir. There we go. There. We didn't cd into it. That was a mistake. I left that there from last night. All right, so we need to change it to directory. Now it tells what your working directory is. Curl -ssl. So that grabs it and it downloads a file called release.json. I think I might have a release file in here. Nope. Okay. And then what? Then we're going to grab the name off of the cache to JSON file. So this gets the name off. And should we do this so you can see it? So, but bottom line, we're just getting we're grabbing the thing so we can get the data off of it. Now, in fact, I think I still have one. Let's do that. curl-ssl hps api.github.com repos rat with a compiler. I don't think you need that. obs.captions captions-plugin /releases /tags /v0.118v. All right, so that'll get the file. There we go. Let's stuff that file in release.json. And now we can use JQ. JQ is the modern sed. I feel like it's so significant it should actually be included in the standard distro, all standard distros, but it's not. And then we can go grab the thing we want. We can get the name out of it. So there's the name. You can get all kinds of stuff. We can get the assets. So the assets is a group. You have to put, as soon as you do that, you have to put in double quotes. There's all the assets. Let's look at the name of all the assets. So there's the name of all the assets. And I kind of cheated. I probably could have isolated this more directly, but I didn't. I just passed that to grep for Linux because I just wanted that one. I want to get rid of the quotes, so we do -R to get rid of the quotes. But yeah, that's what the dash. So that's how we got the name, right? And then we come up here, we get the URL. The browser download URL is the magical thing that you really want. That is like really amazing. I didn't know it was there before yesterday. And it's only on the releases. There used to be a convoluted way to get this. But this is guaranteed to be good no matter what they name the resources, right? So then you do that, we get that. That's the URL that we need to download. So then we can curl LO that. The -O, the capital O says keep it the same name, and the L does a redirect in case it's HTTP or HTTPS. And then we unzip it, and we get some stuff, right? And inside of there is a big old long directory that's the same name with this, right? Except for without zip on the end. So this says move the thing in there called this, which is the plugin, and move it into the standard plugins location. This is standard for all OBS on Linux. So you can do that safely. I know that because I already have the Stream Elements plugins working for Linux using this same method. So there you go. And what else we got? I think the music goes too loud, but I turned it down. So let's go down here. So then I go ahead and just remove that whole directory. So now clearly that is it. So once you have all that stuff done, it took me a while to figure that out. If you want this script, it's in my dot files. So giver dot files are available all over. Just artifacts rob/dot, and then go cd into install, and you'll see it in there. And you can go get the script yourself, and do whatever you want. Play with it. It's saved so far. We've tested it, but I want to show you what it actually does. So that puts a file in your home.config.obs. Be careful streaming this stuff too. Some of this stuff that plugins is a mistake. That's not a thing. I need to delete that. So here we go. So here's the path. .config OBS Studio, and then cd into plugins. I mean, you got stream keys and stuff in here. So don't, this. Oh, I gotta remember that. So this Linux browser, by the way, is really awesome. This Linux browser is something from, that's something for the Stream Elements. It's actually an amazing plugin if you ever get a chance to play with it. It will automatically turn any stateful, like keep the connection open website into a plugin, and I mean into something you can put on your screen. Any website. So you can actually make your own websites that tie into things, and you can make your own extensions for streaming. Like anything that you can make into a website can be turned into something that can be put on screen. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, based on that, but we're talking about the Google plugin. So we have this plugin. I'll just show you the format of it. As you can see, there's nothing much in here. There's just a shared library. And then you have to restart OBS, of course. And when you do, you get this. You get this thing will pop up right away. And you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. And it'll tell you that it's disabled. And then you have to do a little bit of configuration, which I'm going to show you. So you click on the gear thing here. And you have to make sure captions are enabled here. You have to turn into the source. I put the mic. If you're doing anything fancy like mixing stuff, might be a bad idea to do that. I'm really glad that I've got a separate mic channel from my desktop audio. I did that so I could filter out music in my Twitch VODs. And it was kind of annoying because when I monitor myself, I can't tell the sound levels properly, but I just use visual indicators for sound levels. But the really great thing about that is that my mic is on its own channel. So I can completely turn off the desktop and just have the mic still work when I need to. It also means that the only thing going into the closed captioning ingestion is my mic, which means it doesn't have to filter it out. We had somebody, while I was doing this, notice that they were using something called live captioning. It's a plugin for Chrome that would do the same thing, but it tries to pull your voice out of all of the noise coming from a given YouTube channel or something, or Twitch stream, and it was failing. And you were like, why is Twitch so much more effective? And I'm like, because it's just taking in my voice. It's not taking my voice and the music like y'all are hearing. It's just the only thing being sent to Google is what's coming into this mic. And even though it gets that pretty bad sometimes, it's still better, a lot better, because, you know, and it forces me to talk, to enunciate a little bit better. But it works. It's beautiful and wonderful. So I set that. Caption source is heard on stream. And that I thought was interesting. So yeah, I don't know what that is exactly. But all I know is that I put that on. I kept streams only. You can actually do this for recordings. I read some problems with people having it overtake the captioning that comes from YouTube, and having like multiple captionings on top of each other. I don't know if that's worth trying. I haven't tried to do it as a recording. Because YouTube does such a good job at doing its own thing, and I don't normally have sound in the background, I let YouTube do the captioning, so I let it be streams only, just for Twitch. And I bumped the number of lines up to 4. And what is the guest call from Discord notification? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just talking on Discord, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, guest call from Discord notification. Is that a thing? I don't know. Aaron, I don't know what you're talking about. So here we have lines. We have 4. I put 4 because I talk really quickly, so that gives people more option there. Forced line breaks. I did not do that. Profanity filter off. My status line. Taking calls from Discord guests. That means I am in Discord right now, and you can go into the stage and raise your hand if you want to talk about something. You have a question if you want. Otherwise, we'll just talk about it. Profanity filter off. Normal English caption timeout. I think that timeout's fine. You click on show preview here and it'll just give you a little pop-up box, but this preview is plenty good. Make sure you click on save and you're good to go. It literally just starts working. This is the greatest thing of all, though. You can save transcripts that go with your streams. I've been saving them to my Zettelkasten repo so that I can grep through my transcripts for that one video where I talked about thus and such. I can actually find what video it was, on what day and what time, and when I talked about something. I can't tell you how valuable that is. Even if I don't get the CC correct because my voice is unclear or whatever, the chances of me being able to search back through and go, hey, remember that time when we talked about this and such, and I can go back. I can actually search back through the transcripts, which are logged, and look at that stuff. In fact, I kind of want to do that right now. I haven't done it yet. So CD into Zet, CD into transcripts. And there's my transcripts for today. Let's see what's in here. So there you go. Oh my God, that's so amazing. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing. It has the time. It has the offs. Oh my God, that's so amazing. I love that. It's so amazing. It has the date, so I can like search through, so I can just grep that stuff. And remember that one time you talked about that one story when, yeah, it's like if you're somebody who streams as much as I do and talks randomly as enough about as I do, you know where this is going next, right? You know where I'm going next with this, right? The next place I'm going with this is I'm going to make it so that my users can search my transcripts for something that was spoken on a given day for the last 60 days. So I'm going to make, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to make some sort of interface. It's already actually there right now because it's in my Zettelkasten. So you can just search anything in my Zettelkasten, and that if the keyword will show up in a given transcript. It's also another reason that I am going to start, it's in my Zets already. Yeah, it's already there. It's already in my Zettelkasten. I just don't save it after each one. I have to remember to go in and save it. So if you go through and you search my Zet, I already have that, right? So Zet query OBS or something like that. You click on the link and you can go, find everything in OBS that is, related, everything in my Zettelkasten related to OBS, like literally every single file that has it. You get searching for free if you use GitHub. It's one of the reasons I use GitHub Raw and I don't use a website. If I had a website, I'd have to create my own search index or hopefully wait around for Google to get it. This stuff is available almost instantly. New commits are indexed by GitHub almost instantly. So you have a built-in free individualized search engine in GitHub. So that's one of the main reasons I don't feel a lot of, I don't feel compelled to put a website out there. I will eventually, so that it can be searched and stuff. It still pulls up on search engines, but so now my transcripts are also in there. So literally everything I've said that I care to keep a note on, whether it's in a stream or it's just me, writing, it all goes into the same place. It can all be searched. All you have to do is build a slightly nicer search front end on that and an app, and boom, you've got your own complete searchability, and that's tremendously valuable to somebody like me. So, I mean, that's not the kind of thing that other people reviewing adding the closed captioning plugin would probably talk about. To me, obviously, it's like really critical and really important to be able to do that, and I want to make sure those doing streaming for education or for any other purpose know about this, because it's so valuable, not just for the obvious reasons for accessibility, but because you get so much more. You can share your content, you can share your stories, you can use it for dictation. It uses the greatest, I hate to say it, so there's a lot of things about Google I don't like, but Google has hands down the best natural language processing on planet Earth. My Google Pixel is remarkably accurate. It still makes mistakes, but it is so accurate. And you have that access to that intelligence, that massive natural language model that they have used and constructed over time. It almost makes it worth them violating our privacy for the last 15 years, but not quite. Yes, just being able to transcribe the video all by itself is good. And so then the really great thing is you might do a video and you might talk about something and say, okay, well, what order did we cover things in, right? So you can go through that video and search it. I'm not prepared to put all of those comments in the description section of a video. I think it would be too much text to do that, but I'm not beyond having a video link to the CC transcription of it, which is something I'm considering doing. I haven't done that yet, but it would be rather easy. You just have to link to the GitHub transcription, and you could say, hey, do you want to search for every word that's been said in this thing? Would you rather just go read it all in one place? Well, yeah, now you can put a link there. You just put a link in your video at the bottom to the transcript and to the CC transcript, and they can just go look at the file raw. You can make a conversion about that. Yeah, I know, too bad about that. So that is the end of this video. I don't really have anything else to say about this. I'm just super excited by it, and I hope that it provides value to people, and it's definitely going to provide value to me to be able to search it up. Again, if you want the script, so you can install the rest, even if you don't want the actual script, it might be good to read the script to understand how to properly install it, where it goes. I prefer writing a simple script for everything because it's easier to understand for me than to write the steps down, written. Otherwise, either that or make a video about it. But a lot of times, just writing a nice simple script is like, well, there's your steps right there. You just have to know how to. Every one of these steps says something you could execute from the Bash command line, which again is the reason that I use Bash. My command line interaction and my scripting are the same. There's no cognitive separation between the two. There used to be. That's why I gave up Perl for my scripting and started using this or Python. And I mean, I still write those when I need them, but for the most part, I keep them one-to-one so that my command line skills are reinforcing my scripting skills and vice versa. There's nothing wrong with learning Python, but when I write a Python script now, I have to go look up the Python stuff because, I don't do with it every day. I definitely do Bash every day. It makes me much more effective. So that's my personal take on that. Hopefully you'll have a good time reviewing this, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. We'll be back to do some more Sunday conversations and ask me anything.